welcome to the Crypto Jungle. My name is Baloo, and here on the channel I teach you how to trade and invest in cryptocurrencies using the Wyckoff method. If that is something that interests you, then why don't you hit the subscribe button? I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So in today's video, unlike or actually very much so from our previous videos, we're just confirming support. You know, the market had a shakeout. Anytime there's a shakeout, there's a loss in momentum market-wide. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin. We're going to take a look at the total market cap. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin dominance and just develop the thesis that we're building support in this area. I believe that we have transitioned from phase A to potentially phase B, but when you're in a very early Wyckoff accumulation range, you can't front run these ideas. You have to allow the price candles to develop. So until we have more information, we can only speculate that we're in phase A. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the king of all cryptocurrencies, and that is Bitcoin. So we are taking a look at Bitcoin on the daily chart. We are hovering around the area of $36,000 to $41,000. That's the exact area for the downside point and figure count that we did on previous streams. So we're right in the area of stop, look, and listen. This is a good thing. We're kind of holding support in that area, and our focus is here trying to determine if we have found support. We're kind of hovering around the area of the breakout of the previous kind of buyer's climax area, right? This was our first real shakeout as the bull market kind of kicked off, and then we kind of had the Elon Musk tweet that got a retracement, and then we had the breakout area, and that's pretty much where we're sitting right now, inside of this kind of zone here. So it's a pretty good support range. It's not something that I'm going to take like a ton of it's a good support range. You know, anytime you're in a breakout area, the breakout is a good spot. We also have a breakout back here that's offering some resistance currently. So, you know, that's kind of the range that we're in, is from one breakout to another. So it's going to take some time to repair the trend. A lot of people are in the smaller time frames. They're taking a look at, you know, the 1 hour chart, and they're already in you know, phase C. Some people are trying to call phase C right now. You really got to be more conservative with your approach and understand that this stuff takes a while. It takes a while to develop. So allow it to develop. Let's zoom in onto the lower time frames. I'm going to go down to the 4 hour, and we're taking a look at this area right here. So whenever you're determining a new trading range is developing, what you're looking for is a transition from a downtrend to a sideways trading environment, or an uptrend to it. You're trying to find the point at which the consolidation began. So if we're taking a look at this downtrend, you know, we were trending down, and now it looks like we're trending sideways. So this area right here at the transition point is what's known as the change of character. Change of character. So the change of character is your seller's climax, automatic rally, secondary test in the context of an accumulation. So for that reason, I did not look at this area as my seller's climax, even though we had the most amount of volume and it reached the lowest point, the lowest price in the consolidation. It was still a part of the overall downtrend. So I'm calling that RPS, our preliminary support. This is kind of our area of support. So I'm going to make note of that area because it's also serving as a little bit of resistance right now. Right in this sort of area here. So yeah, I would like to see us get above this level. I would love to see us come and revisit and test the top of the range. That would be a really bullish case for us to get a continuation. We don't have to go there. We don't have to go anywhere. We could just, you know, fall down from here. It really doesn't matter. But the point of the story here is we're still kind of in a no trade scenario. If you're wanting to trade the swings, you know, we're currently underneath a resistance right now. This would be an area where you would be looking for shorts. When we're in a downtrend, you want to be looking for short opportunities. I think, you know, short term is bearish. We are in a confirmed downtrend, so don't be too trigger happy on trying to go long inside of this environment. Wait for the confirmation to come in. Yes, it took months for the distribution, but hours for reaccumulation. That's, you know, we often, especially new analysts, you often, you know, force things that aren't there. I got a comment, I think, on the last video saying, hey, check out the 3 hour, it lines up perfectly. And it very well may kind of fit some sort of pattern on the 3-hour. But first of all, you're on a strange time frame. When you're doing analysis, you're looking for market consensus. The more people looking at a project, or the more people looking at a certain setup, the better. And second of all, you're just searching. You're searching for the bullish scenario to play out. So when you're searching, you're kind of forcing a bias, you're forcing an opinion, and you want to kind of avoid that and remain really neutral. Remain neutral, and whenever possible, always remain neutral. What kind of volume can we expect in phase B? So in phase B, you don't expect anything. What you do is you observe, and what we would like to observe throughout phase B is a contraction of the supply. Right now, it's about shaking out the supply and proving the support levels are valid. So until that, that takes time to develop. So we'll probably come back down and test. Maybe we get a move to the upper end, but what you want to see is just the supply dry up. You want to see the supply become exhausted. The sellers need to become exhausted, and then at which point we'll probably get some sort of phase C event, and the phase C will be the transition. If it's bullish and it turns out to be an accumulation, it will be a transition to the upside. And if it does transition to the upside, we want to see demand come in on the rallies, and we want to see supply diminish on the reactions, which we're actually seeing on the higher time frames. If we go back to the daily, now again, supply is in control. As you can see, as we fell down here, there was a lot of supply coming in, but now as we're testing the support range, the supply is diminishing. So if we can continue to get that diminishment of the supply, it's going to prove that this is probably a valid support level. It's going to need more tests. So, don't think that you've missed the bottom. First of all, you shouldn't be trying to catch the bottom. You should be trading on confirmations. But I don't think we've missed the bottom. I think there's going to be further tests moving forwards. So nothing to get too worried about. There's going to be plenty of opportunity and plenty of upside, in my opinion. In case this is a redistribution, what lower/lowest levels are we looking at? So that's a fairly good question. If it is a redistribution, I think open interest is rather low right now. We are ticking up in open interest. If we go over and take a look at the open interest, Binance is getting back to the long side. All the traders think that we're out of the woods, but open interest is beginning to tick to the upside, but it's nowhere near the levels that we had before the shakeout. So there's not a lot of fuel in the tank for a capitulation event. I think if we were to kind of, I do think we need to get more confidence in the space. We need more people to go long to be at risk of a redistribution that hits some lower targets. But some of the targets that I'm keeping my eyes on for a worst case scenario would be kind of around this area, at the area of the previous breakout. Somewhere around $25,000, and then below that we're looking at just $20,000. But here's the thing, I really don't want to see those levels, and if we do get a break of this channel, I'm going to be seriously considering exiting on any sort of dead cat bounce or exiting on a recovery, because this would be a very significant break of trend. If you are bullish and you are trying to make money in the bull market right now, this is the most important trend that you need to be paying attention to. This is on the logarithmic scale here. I'm on the daily, and we're at the bottom of the log scale. If we break this, you're in for a long haul accumulation. We're talking 6 months to a year, maybe even longer, to repair the trend. We really don't want to see this level break. If this level breaks, it's going to be a long time. It's going to be a long grind, and we're going to be forced to kind of flip our bias, flip our strategy, restructure the portfolio to more of a neutral/bearish bias. And the setups that we're going to be looking for have nothing to do with altcoins. They have everything to do with Bitcoin, and they're going to be to the short side. So I'm hoping we don't see that. Now, again, that is just hope. If we take a look, there is some further indications that we may be finding a floor here. There is a bit of a bullish divergence here. Bullish divergence here on the high time frames. We're here on the daily. There is just a little bit of divergence here between the RSI and the price action. So that's a check in the right direction. We also have the hash ribbons Hash ribbons is basically the miner capitulation. Miners have shut down and they've turned their machines back on, and we're waiting for a buy signal. I don't really understand the finer nuances of the hash ribbons indicator, but traditionally speaking, when you get your blue circle, it's been a pretty good buy on that one. So we're just waiting. I really think that we're just in damage control mode. We're trying to find support. So my understanding is below 19 to 20K in BTC in the grand scheme is a downtrend. We are already in a downtrend. We are already in a downtrend. So here's our high, low, lower high, lower low. We're already in an established downtrend. The only argument you can make is, you know, if we break this level, now we're in a downtrend on the macro, and now we're in a downtrend on the weekly. So until that happens, you know, we're in a downtrend. We have to work through resistance. We have to find support. The market needs to go bullish again. They need to hold a lot of confidence, and that's going to take time. And if we break below these levels, I think we can repair the trend in about a month. If we break below those levels, we're talking potentially a year to repair that. So it's not a good thing if we break below that. So please be mindful and have a strategy to both sides. It looks as though it's trying to form support, yes. And if you take a look at these high volume events, typically shift the momentum. They shift the trend. So this was a high volume event into a capitulation that sparked off an uptrend. Then we got into the preliminary supply. So most of the supply was dumped into the market. That was followed by a diminishing of the supply as we curled over. And then we capitulated into this high volume event. So is that enough of a transfer from the weak retail hands into the smart institutional investors? We will have to see, but the market is very scared. There are people calling for many people are calling for lower levels, and typically, historically speaking, when everybody in the market is bearish, you're at the floor. So I've seen this many times. I feel from a sentiment point of view that we're at the floor, but that is not my technical opinion. That is just my experience with how this market kind of behaves. When everybody is calling for lower levels, it's probably the floor. I got a great YouTube comment the other day too. Whenever you hear the word manipulation and Bitcoin or crypto in the same sentence, it's usually a buy signal. The herd is always wrong. So, you know, limit your exposure to the noise, limit your exposure to the news. Whenever there's a downside event, you're going to be shown every reason as to why it goes down, and you're going to be shown every reason as to why it will continue. Typically, more often than not, that's not the case. If we take a look at Bitcoin dominance, we're just kind of consolidating right at this level at around 42 to 44. Yeah, 44% in Bitcoin dominance. I think if Bitcoin begins to rally here, this will begin to tick up and hit into my target right at around 54 to 52% Bitcoin dominance. We're not going to get a real altcoin season until this rally kind of concludes and sort into Bitcoin dominance. And let's take a look at the total market cap. Total market cap, similar story, similar structure. You know, we were in an uptrend, we had our shakeout, we're now consolidating, trying to prove support. It's the same across all markets. If I was to pick, Bitcoin is healthier than altcoins. The altcoins are reacting more to the downside and they're recovering less to the upside. Even though there are good green days that we're seeing in the altcoins, it's usually met with some more severe red days as well. So it's a choppy market out there. It's a trader's market. If you're a long-term investor, I think it's best to just chill. If you didn't cover or sell the top, you may not want to be making significant changes to your portfolio on the swing low, but again, nothing here is financial advice and you have to make your own decisions. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing here. Mind checking out ELA? ELA. I don't know. Sounds pretty low down the list. ELA, I mean, you're trying to get into altcoins at the worst possible time. In my opinion, there's a rotation to funds. And after a shakeout, Bitcoin is the first to move. Elastos. Smart contract platform, market cap 66 million. It's way too down the list, man. Way too down the list. Seems to be flattening out in the last 90 days, but this thing is not about to run anytime soon. If you're accumulating into it and you're wanting to take a fundamental play, go right ahead. But you know, it's going to take a long time for these cryptos to repair. And the lower you are on the list, as far as where you place in the rankings, you know, 300 plus. If you're not top 100, good fucking luck. If you're not top 20, good fucking luck. It's going to be Bitcoin that moves first. That's the way this market always goes. Anytime there's a shakeout where everybody is scared out of their positions and they sit in Tether, sit in USDC or whatever it is that they sit in, retreat into Bitcoin, into other high caps, it's going to take a while before the lower cap coins are back into it. Cardano still looks strong in your opinion? I mean, from yeah, let's take a look at Cardano. We'll take a look at Cardano USD. It's holding support on top of a all-time high break. So, you know, I really don't like altcoins right now, to be perfectly honest. If we take a look at the local supply, rally, diminishing volume, reaction, flat and increasing volume, rally, diminishing volume. Looks like it's going to consolidate for a while. Where, you know, if you're accumulating into this thing, I think it's a good play. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Bitcoin pair. So ADA BTC, a little bit cleaner of a chart, but again, you know, it's got the volume in the wrong places. We have contraction of the volume, contraction of the supply on the rallies, and then the volume re-enters on the reactions. So, you know, it's going to consolidate. I think that it's going to take time to really repair what's going on here, but there is a bit of an ascending triangle that's forming here. Let's get my triangle drawings on here. Where's my triangles? Where are my triangles at? So, you know, there is kind of something being formed here. Way too dark. Way too dark. So we're kind of range bound in here. You know, we'll have to see, but I think, you know, we're range bound for now. There's no urgency to be getting into altcoins, and that's kind of just the message I'm trying to drive home here. Is there's really no urgency. You know, focus on the health of the market, and when you're focusing on the health of the market, where all of your attention needs to go to, it needs to go to Bitcoin. If you're new to crypto, you may not understand what role Bitcoin plays in this ecosystem. It is the most important cryptocurrency to all of your crypto investments. Bitcoin is the canary in the coal mine. If Bitcoin is doing poorly, everything is doing poorly. If Bitcoin is doing well, everything is doing well. If you don't believe, if you think Bitcoin's in a downtrend that will continue and you're looking for altcoins, you really need to take a step back and reassess what it is that you're doing, because you're betting against the trend. You're betting against the macro environment that's in front of you. Yeah. Second trial today to break 37.3. It's possible. It's possible. I would like to see us go up to 40K. You know, it's a nice bounce off of this trend. RSI is confirming, you know, a nice bullish divergence as well. But we're range bound, and we'll continue to be range bound for a while. It's strictly, you know, and I don't want to see us get too volatile in phase B either. I want to see us just chill. We're encountering a lot of supply in this area, trying to break through resistance. We might break through it, but don't think we're about to break out of this consolidation and leave anytime soon. Asking about ELA because it looks like a legit project, very active on GitHub, but yeah, probably not the best time to invest. I think Bitcoin will retest 30K. It's likely. Legitimacy and supply and demand are all very different things. You can have a legitimate project that nobody cares about and there's no demand. You can have a legitimate project that a lot of people may have a lot of desire for, but the supply is overtaking because the institutional players that got in early have dumped their supply into the market. There's more to just legitimacy in this space. If you're a long-term investor and you can see actual use case being used, listen, Elastos, it may look legit, but it's only a $60 million market cap, which tells me nobody fucking cares. Sorry, you know, it might be a hidden gem, there might be some adoption down the road, but as far as its role in the market currently, it's very low on the priority list. And that is just based off of what the market is telling me. The most important projects in this space are the ones with the highest market cap. Trying to front run ideas and you know, understand things from a fundamental basis can be advantageous from your investment perspective, but the market is going to tell you what's valuable. And the most valuable project that we have in the ecosystem is Bitcoin, based off of market cap, market participation. If all my alts are still in profit, is it a good time to sell now and buy lower again? So I can't tell you what to do with your investments, Samantha. The alts do take a bigger hit than BTC. They also recover more when BTC recovers. I think if Bitcoin kind of breaks down from here, your altcoin portfolio will go to shit. And let you know, going back to the logarithmic chart, if we break down out of this channel and revisit, you know, maybe somewhere around the $24,000 mark, maybe even the $19,000 to $20,000 mark. If that's to occur, your altcoin portfolio is going to look terrible. But, you know, I can't tell you what to do with your investments. And this is also the area of a bounce. We're just looking for information right now. We don't have any way to determine what strength is because those candles haven't printed yet. Until the candle prints, we don't have information. So I can't tell you what's going to happen. And that's a big problem that a lot of people fall into this trap. A lot of the YouTubers tell you that they know what's going to happen. And the reality is they don't. You know, you can't know what's going to happen in this market. It's impossible. These candles print and are presented to you in real time. And with the information that's presented to you in real time, you're meant to react upon that information. So statistically speaking, when we hit an area of support at the bottom of the channel, the next move is up. But again, you know, if we break down, it's usually a severe reaction once you break a formation like that. I can't tell you what to do with your portfolio. You didn't see my question, I guess. What books do you suggest for for a beginner in crypto? I recommend that first and foremost, you go and read the Bitcoin Standard so that you have a good understanding of why Bitcoin is so important. And then I would recommend that you read Jesse Livermore's method of trading stocks. Also, Mastering the Trade is a very good one. You know, there's nothing that's specific to crypto per se, because all markets involve humans, and humans always are fearful and greedy. So it's really less about what market you're in and how you can control your emotions and market psychology. If you join the Discord, there's a recommended readings tab, so you can get some of those book recommendations that I've made inside of my server. So you can feel free and join the Discord below. Would you recommend selling ETH for USDT when high and buying ETH when USDT with USDT when it dips? Sure, sounds simple enough. I diversify my portfolio into three kind of stacks. You know, I have my HODL, I have my swing, and then I have my fire account. The HODL is the biggest portion of my portfolio, and I do nothing with it. It sits on a ledger. It doesn't have a stop loss. All of the coins inside of it are in profit because I buy over time, and if you're in this market long enough, your position becomes profitable. And then I have my swing account. The ledger, by the way, accounts for, depending on the current conditions of the market, it accounts for anywhere from 70 to 60% of my entire trading portfolio. So the biggest trades that I have, the biggest positions that I have, aren't traded. It's just a part of the system that I'm investing in cryptocurrency. I'm investing in blockchain. Then you have your swing trades. Now you're getting a little creative. You might want to buy low, sell high, a little bit of stop loss, stuff like that. And then you have kind of your fire account, your leverage, and you know, futures contracts, derivatives, stuff like that. But yeah. Fee is only 1% from what I see. 0.1%. Seems a little high, actually. Where are you trading? You can actually get 0 fees if you follow the links below. Go to ftx.com, sign up under my link. You get 5% off all of your trading fees. And if you participate as a market maker, meaning that you don't use market orders, you only use limit orders, and you contribute to the order book, you pay 0 fees. You can never pay fees again if you're always a market maker. If you're a market taker, and you're taking liquidity from the order book, you'll pay, you know, fees. But if you're a market maker, you'll never pay fees. Links down below. Fundamentals can be good and a project still nukes. Yeah, exactly. Look at 2017 ICO mania. Well, most of them were shit, but I agree with what you're saying. Don't do the same with me with Avalanche. I bought high and thought it would explode because of their tech, etc. In the end, nobody wants to buy that coin, so I sold to buy BTC and ETH. Yeah, I mean, it's always tough when you're diving strictly into the fundamentals, because you need adoption as well. You need adoption. If fire position, it just means that it's a burnable account. So the money that's in there is high risk, meaning that the money that's in there could very easily disappear if your trade goes the wrong way. So it's the highest risk positions that you have where, you know, you're applying leverage and they have the ability to liquidate that account. So you want to separate anytime that you have that kind of exposure. I'm reading Twitch. It's just there's more comments coming in on the YouTube side. What online platform do you recommend practicing how to day trade as an emulator to? Okay, so practicing day trading, it doesn't work. Markets are mental. When there's money on the line, your entire trading strategy is completely different. The way that you approach everything changes. It's like playing poker. You know, poker doesn't work unless there's money on the table, because there's no point in trying to bluff someone if they have nothing to lose. And the same thing applies to trading. You may be a fantastic paper trader, but it doesn't mean a thing. It doesn't mean anything, because the way that you are playing on paper is going to be completely different from the way that you play when there's actually money on the line. So what I recommend for new traders is just start an account where it's a small amount of money, knowing that that account will become blown out. This is your tuition fee. You get to choose how much you get to pay for college. If you want to spend $5,000 for college, you go right ahead, or you can spend $500 for college. You go right ahead. It's about learning, and it's about percentage gains. So, you know, getting hands-on, looking at the P&L, getting the entries right, all of that stuff is really important. But without money, paper trading, it just doesn't work, in my opinion. And that's kind of a good segue to promote my group. We have a Traders Academy, a virtual classroom. We have a ton of on-demand video library for you to come and learn the ins and outs of trading, learn the Wyckoff method, and become a part of a community of we're almost at 1,000 traders now, of people who are dedicated to learning this method and learning what it takes to become a profitable trader. So if that's something that you're seriously interested in learning, A, it takes time, B, it takes effort, and C, I think it's achievable. But you have to be realistic with your objectives. So links below if you are interested. Beginner tips on crypto swing trade. You just have to do it. Do it with a small amount of money, like I've already said. Yeah. Okay, what price do you think the bear market? Bear markets are not established by price, they're established by trend. If we're talking localized trend, we're already in a bear market. If we break below this level and make a new swing low that it fails to achieve a new swing high, then we're in a technical long-term bear market. So I guess if you want me to put a price on it, I would say any candle that closes below or wicks below 28.8 will be in a bear market. So we're not far from it. We're not far from it, but it's about the trend. It's about the swing highs and the swing lows. If we're trending down, we're making higher highs and higher lows, we're in a bear market. Technically speaking, on the daily, we're in a bear market because we're trending to the downside. So it's all your kind of time parameter. Can't use Coinbase from your country. Where are you from? Sex.io. Instant sell orders. Yes, those are market orders. Those are taker orders, and those are always going to be more expensive. If you're a market maker, you pay less in fees. When I limit buy on FTX, it displays me maker. When I sell the limit order, it displays taker. It depends. So you have to sell your limit order at a higher price. So if you're selling limit order below, it's whether you're making the order book or taking from the order book. So when you do a limit sell and you sell at a price that is higher than the market value, or no, if you sell it at a price that's lower than the market value and your order fills right away, you're a taker because you took from the order book. It's only when you make the order book that you're a maker. Is there many cryptocurrencies on FTX that have compounding growth or just USDT? They are more focused on USDC. You can also get a yield on DAI. DAI is in high demand as well. Tether is in high demand. If you want to receive a yield, you can use those as well. I think that the yields are honestly better on protocols like Aave. But yeah, it's easier to kind of keep it on FTX for sure. I need a VPN to use FTX in the US. There is ftx.us. So go to ftx.us and there's an American-based exchange. They have limited access to margin, but as far as a spot market, it has more than what I would say that you need, especially in the current climate. Looks like a strong sell soon. I mean, we're up against resistance, so I'm not seeing a ton of strength, really. I mean, supply is entering, but we're range bound. There's nothing that says we're about to fall off a cliff right now, and I don't think we have enough fuel in the tank to allow us to fall to lower prices. Open interest is really low right now. Okay, let's take a look at some of the other top altcoins here. We'll take a look at VeChain. Again, this is a lot of these are going to take some time to recover. Bit of a pennant here. The pennant needs to resolve. Oh, thank you. We need to at least get a equal high. So right around 13, 14 cents. If we can get up to 14 cents, we can start to call this a rising triangle. Ascending triangle, which would be better than a symmetrical triangle. Currently, this looks like it wants to resolve to the downside. However, we have a break. We have a break of the local support here, or sorry, the local resistance. We've tested it as support, and we're now continuing to move sideways. So VeChain doesn't actually look too bad. There's a lot of bullish stories, I think, coming out of VeChain right now. I'm not holding any VeChain, but I think they continually add value with their there's a lot more demand happening with VeChain than on other projects. A lot of projects, they're just bullshit. The governance aspect of a lot of these tokens is just so that they can pass the Howey test, so that they don't become a security. That's the only reason that they are called a governance token. There are certain governance protocols that are completely useless. There's one we were looking at a while ago, UDT. which is a governance protocol for a paywall, but there's nothing to vote on. It's just a protocol. So take a real close look at these governance protocols, because in most circumstances, it's completely useless to have a governance token. If you're interested in the future of the DAO and you want to contribute with your dollars and vote on a direction of the decentralized autonomous organization, then yeah, there's a demand for the governance token. But in most circumstances, there isn't. So please be aware with that. ADA is the future. Blockchain is the future. We don't know which one it's going to be, but if we pick the strongest smart contract platform, it's Ethereum. Where did you get that open interest chart? So this is at crowntrading.net. Another YouTuber, Crown's Crypto Cave, fantastic YouTuber, no bullshit. He's just gonna tell it to you straight, and he's actually pretty entertaining as well. So if you go to app.crowntrading.net, you can get this. This is the free version. He's got a paid version, but yeah, you can check the open interest on there, and he's got a whole bunch of charts in his dashboard that are very helpful. Thoughts on EOS? I think EOS, fundamentally speaking, is a shit project, but I think it's got a nice setup. I feel the same about XRP right now. XRP, I hate XRP. And a lot of people can disagree with me and be correct in disagreeing with me. It's not the point. You know, my own reservations are separate from the market opinion. But EOS looks good, man, especially on the Bitcoin pair. If we go to a log chart on the weekly, on the Bitcoin pair, sorry. We are breaking out. We broke through this long downward sloping line of resistance. So it's a nice retest. We're above the area of interest for me. I think that EOS is going to start making some moves from a technical standpoint. What narrative they need to weave, I don't know. They've got a pretty good marketing budget. They've got a lot of money in the treasury for them to kind of make some moves. Supply seems to be exhausted, and they're kind of poised for a move here. But again, I think fundamentally speaking, the strongest smart contract platform is Ethereum. It has the most adoption, the most developers, and it's just it's much further along than any other project, really. But that doesn't mean that you can't make money on these things, as people think that you know, it's going to dethrone Ethereum or something like that. So EOS, it's got a nice setup here. You know, you can see this area. My face is in the way there. Multi-year downward sloping line of resistance finally breaking through. So as we begin to break out some of the highs, get above some of these levels, it's going to be really good. If we can get above this area right here, which is where we wicked to, it will only gain momentum from there. Any takes on BSC as a long-term investment? You think you can go ahead to head with ETH? No, I don't. No, I don't. I think that Binance Smart Chain is a short-term fix. It's a band-aid to a problem that's going to be completely changed once we have ETH 2.0 and second-layer solutions. We won't need Binance Smart Chain. Decentralization is going to be better than centralization, and I think that Binance Smart Chain is a bullshit money laundering machine that's not going to be, in my opinion, again, these are my opinions here, it's not going to be the better play for kind of, you know, opening up the world to blockchain. So no, for me, no, I'm not investing in the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem. I have trades in there. I think that there's money in there because Binance has the most amount of new traders in the ecosystem. So there's definitely people pouring liquidity into that ecosystem. But for a long-term investment, for me, no, it's not something that I would personally do if you're asking my opinion. Given that the institutional money is now in company wouldn't want to devalue Bitcoin on their balance sheet, right? Bitcoin ETFs would suffer those 4-year burr. Don't fall into this narrative, Yud. Bitcoin is going to do whatever the fuck it wants, always and forever. If Bitcoin wants to retrace 70% and recover, it will. The institutions only have so much control over that, and there's not enough institutional players in the game that will prevent that. So another thing too is, as there's more demand for the institutions to get in. If they're not in, what are they going to do? They're going to manipulate Bitcoin to crash the price so that they can make an entry. We may even argue that that's what happened currently. So to say Bitcoin can't fall because the institutions are here, to me is nonsense. You know, watch the charts. We have no data to support that whatsoever. And this latest shakeout was further cementing that thesis that institutions can't prop it up. And if anything, if they want in, they're going to want good entries, and they're going to crash the market to get good entries. So no, I don't believe that for a second. Have you checked the bull market barrier indicator? No. On determining market phases, it apparently has worked well historically. No, I have not. I do not think the 4-year bear market is a thing of the past, simply because we have no data to support that they are a thing of the past. We are still in a 4-year cycle, and only when we break the trend of a 4-year cycle can we begin to entertain the thoughts that we're not in a 4-year cycle. So until we break that model, it's intact. Only thing I don't like about Ethereum is that when you hard fork, they need to create a new version of ETH, being a new coin. That is the same for every single hard fork on every currency, period. There is a hard fork, there is a contentious hard fork, and there is an accepted hard fork. When there is a contentious hard fork, you have a community division, and there's 2 coins. When you have an accepted hard fork, you have 1 coin that dies and 1 that continues. So it really all depends on the community. When the community is in consensus, the hard fork, the community goes with the coin that the community thinks is the coin. But anytime you fork, anytime, there's always 2 coins, always. XRP and Doge are poo-poo. I agree, for the most part. XRP, we don't know. I think Doge is definitely shit. But again, these are just my opinions. Do you think Chainlink can go to $50? I think it's possible. Yeah, I think Chainlink can go to $50. That seems possible. Cardano, we did cover Cardano. Cardano is a meme. Binance Smart Chain liquidity will move to Matic. There is already a live bridge directly from Binance Smart Chain to Matic. It's interesting. Binance Smart Chain is already pretty cheap. What is a better investment, Cardano or Ethereum Classic? I don't know. What's a better investment, popcorn or rice? I don't care about either, but I'll eat them. Are you holding any microcaps for the long-term fundamentals? No. The only microcaps I hold are token launches. Most token launches, if not all of them, are complete shit projects. So I hold shitcoins, absolutely. And I got in as an early seed stage investor, and they will continue to be shitcoins until they prove to me that they aren't. And yeah, there's no fundamental that I'm going to hold in a microcap. There's no point. There's no point. And that's like the hardest thing for me to get across to new investors, is you're always trying to find the hidden gems. Stop trying to find the hidden gems. The hidden gem is staring at you right in front of your face. The hidden gem is Bitcoin. You think Bitcoin can't make you money? You're so wrong. You are so wrong. You are so wrong that you think Bitcoin can't make you money. You're so wrong if you think Ethereum can't make you money. You don't know what you don't know, and you're going to waste a lot of time trying to uncover these hidden gems when it's right there in front of your face. I've been trading for, I've been day trading with 1 BTC, trying to recover some losses. In which price intervals do you recommend trading? Higher time frames are best. If you're doing some day trading, we actually have a day trader in the group. He's just been day trading recently. And he created an indicator. So all of the members of the group, well, once you sign up under our links, you do get access to the alphanumerics indicator. And this is going to tell you the buys, the sells, the take profits. All of that will be kind of as a part of your membership to the group if you sign up under Bybit and FTX or Binance if you don't already have a Binance account, but most people do have a Binance account, so I stress FTX and Bybit. And yeah, you know, you get a bearish cross. He's been short since this bearish cross. You know, he's still in profit at this point, even with the recovery, but he's the type to kind of trim profits. You go down to the 1 hour and you can get some further intel as to where you should be taking profits and stuff like that. So, you know, the larger time frames are better. Some people do the 5 minute, the 15 minute, stuff like that. It's kind of personal preference. As you trade this market, you kind of learn what works for you. But usually it's better to get in on the bigger swings, and that just means being patient. And everything with trading requires patience. You have to wait for the trade to come to you. Don't try and that's what I don't like about day trading, is because you're already setting off the day being like, okay, I need to get into a trade today. And that's like, really, it goes against a lot of what I teach, because if there's no trade, there's no trade. And it's really that simple. So calling yourself a day trader is already a step in the wrong direction. Really, you can look at the charts every day with an intent to get into a trade that day, but you shouldn't just take it. You shouldn't just take that trade. In the group, where do I find this indicator? So Sashwat, DM me. We do need to get you signed up on the links to get that access to the indicator, but we're happy to get you set up on that. Still struggling with volume in context of Wyckoff. Can you do a brief recap? I know low/high volume at support/resistance needs to be interpreted maybe on the BTC distribution chart. Sure. Very quickly. What you're looking for is, when you're in an uptrend, you want volume on the rallies and a contraction of the supply on the reactions. So let's actually go to the daily. Let's go to the no, we'll do the 4 hour. FTX isn't the best. Let's go with Coinbase. Volume is going to be different from every exchange too. You know what? Let's go to the BLX because it averages it out. Only thing is you only get the daily on there. So on a rally, when we're on a rally, you want to see an increase in the demand. When you're on a reaction, you want to see a decrease in the supply. And then rally, look, decreasing demand. This was when the distribution began. Reaction, increase in supply. Rally, weakening rally, diminishing demand. Reaction, increasing supply. So rallies need to come on demand and the reactions need to come on diminishing supply. As long as you're seeing the demand come in on a rally and it retract on a reaction, you're in a healthy trend. Demand is in control because the volume only shows up when it's time to make money to the upside. The inverse is true when you're in a downtrend. You'll see supply come in on the reactions and you'll see no demand appear on the rallies. Is it possible to make day trading a day job, like a 9 to 5? Yeah, it's absolutely possible. But, you know, with day trading, you kind of, so first of all, full disclosure, I am not a day trader. I don't do day trades. I will take short-term trades in kind of a day trading time preference, but I'm not trading every day because the real money is made in the long swings. A day trader might be able to make 2-5% in a day, and they'll do that for multiple days, but usually with similar position sizes, whereas the swing trader can make multiples on those over time, and it's really hard to comprehend an exponential parabola and how profitable an exponential parabola can be. So the day trader has very quick goals. It's best to kind of split your capital into multiple buckets. You know, have your HODL account, have your swing trade account, have your day trade account. And if your goal is to extract, you know, $100 a day out of the market, it's a very achievable goal. The only thing is you need a high balance to do that, because the less of a percentage gain you can get, the better. If you can be happy with a 1% percentage in a day, you will be a very successful day trader. If you're trying to get 10% every day, you're not gonna make it. Full stop, you're not gonna make it. So take a look at your account that you're trading with, and if 10% of your account is not enough money for you to be happy in a day, don't try. It's not going to happen. If 1% of the account that you're going to be putting into your trades, mind you, not your full account, your trading position, if 1% of your position size is going to be enough for you to be happy to close out a trade on the day, then absolutely, because that's very easy to do. We get 1% every hour. It's very easy to get that. But if your goal is 10% a day, good fucking luck. Okay, struggling to identify supply versus demand volume, say on the bottom reversal area. Is the volume spike buyers stepping in or increasing in panic? Typically when it's uncharacteristic, the supply is coming in to the point at which the buyers enter. So this is both buyers and sellers. So yes, buyers are stepping in. I guess the thing to do is to wait for the next few candles to confirm. Absolutely. Yeah, we're in a waiting game right now. Nothing's changed. If we go back to 4 hour here, we're just waiting for more information. Nothing's changed. We're early phase A. We just crossed phase A. So we need to see how the price behaves in phase B before we can move on to phase C. And then we're going to be able to, determine what is in control, supply and demand. Right now, we don't have enough information. So we're trying to crack a code without all the information. It just doesn't happen. Okay, so that is pretty much all the time I have for today. If you enjoyed this content, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And if there are projects that you would like me to take a look at, please leave them in the comments section down below. And if you're interested in joining VIP and joining the Traders Academy, then follow the links down below. We can get you signed up and in the group and in the classroom session. If you hurry now, we could probably get you in today's session, which happens immediately after the streams. So I've got about 10 minutes till I'm in the virtual classroom. So if you are interested in joining VIP, links down below. Without any further ado, please trade safe. It is a jungle out there. Peace.